scene is set. Dust2, first pick material for both these teams, but today it will be the decider of who enters the grand finals first and foremost. Glowing to break first blood, it's one win to start on the CT side.
And breaking the ice quite nicely. They've got a kit and flashes here on the side of one win as well, so even if things do go towards one of these bomb sites, should look at them as being in a pretty healthy spot to go for retakes. But even with that in mind, they don't even have it set in their heads that they're going to only plan for retakes. Still that aggression towards lower, and Glowing still taking fights.
You've got Kyojin coming in to try and box him over. There is the Xbox smoke to Travis to try and continue giving a little bit of cover, but how long will that remain? Good flashbang. Glowing continuing to fight. One more reload in the magazine, but Maka won't let any more bullets be fired. Deco in the meanwhile overrun on short heals to eliminate, but Flamey's taken the time to rotate through. Travis still alive, playing the ramp with the sliver of HP that he has. Neither site will be open too easily.
Yeah, Maka can't safely cross to rendezvous with Kios, so he's trying to find something else outside of the possibility of going towards that A site, but Kios losing his life as well as that bomb. Maka's hopes are now quickly thrown to the wayside. No real chance. Lollipop even overkills him with the headshot. And it's a nice little kickoff in the pistol here from one win. Very assertive start. Even just the fact that they had
different.
Yeah, just even the fact that they have these flashes available from Flamey. You saw him kind of lining them up for a potential B play, but he throws one to help his lower tunnels player peek out and take those fights as well. Very nice to see Flamey play that supportive role.
I know it's just the first round, but one would look really completely different to how we saw them in Nuke, and dare I say even to some extent on Vertigo already, with how comfortable they are in taking these duels. Hopefully we can see that be a tendency rather than a blip. P9's getting ready to intercept the force by first kill down. Lollipop keeps it going, but the spray transfer is incomplete. Flamey has to come through and pick him up. He's been the SMG master so far, and I'm not too surprised to see him getting messy against his half-life or smile. Bomb will be planted, however. Molotov won't actually spread to Kyojin in time, and with this, they've got a chance. Close range, the Tech 9s can be lethal. And he might be about to find out, but even so, he just goes out, gets the kill. Only a single bullet taken. A 2-on-4, but you can still see how hesitant these CTs are for pushing in. Flamey and Glowing trying to make their way forward. Kyojin covers for the first, but the second can't be found. Maka dueling away, but despite Deco and Glowing being low, it will be the second secured by a one win.
Yeah, certainly a chance to make this round work here from Falcons, but you can see just how much of a nuisance Flamey was, only getting a kill on the initial attack towards that B site, but then also finding the kill after the fact, using his body as a bait as well to allow his teammate to refrag. Really well done on the B side retake there for one win, because they didn't have many flashes. They had a Molotov, a smoke, and that was kind of it. So they needed to actually have these bodies to throw at the problem. See the cash injection from the bomb plan as well as the previous two lost rounds. Falcons do reinvest their hands onto some of these rifles. Quite a few resources as well to play with. No one within earshot. No one heard the fumblings of Flamey. Very B-sided at the moment. Not really setting up in a default. Not trying to pressure other areas of the map. They're leaving Long kind of in charge of Kyojin. Or Kyojin in charge of Long. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, who knows? Is it the position or the player? You know?
Probably owns what? Yeah. MBK has a spot on a map, doesn't it?
True. So, well, that map doesn't exist anymore. And
damn, also true.
Then again, right now neither does NBK in CS, so maybe you're right, the position does own the player. Glowing gotta back off and will do so successfully. Now, might be time to call some of these rotations back, but if they do so, they could end up being overrun in mid. 3 players in B, now brought down to 2. Flamey unable to find a single frag, and the smoke at the doors is likely going to be spammed through. Lollipop avoiding the initial damage, but as they move on to the bomb site itself, Lollipop's trying to defend his teammate who's sitting at the back of Plat, but will be able to overrun and overcome. Despite the B side stack, they're not actually able to get that much done.
Down to a 1-on-2 and glowing. Very difficult position to find himself in. Does go back to pick up the kit and goes to reposition altogether. Has extra time to play with. Bomb went down quite recent. They'll expect that he's coming from outside the B doors. I'll leave Haji to be exposed.
Does seem like the clock is ticked far too low, and with Haji finding the kill, yeah, that's going to be the first and potentially even second to be lined up. The CT economy is quite poor, but again, just to reiterate, the fact that you're not able to find any kills from the player in the back platform makes Lollipop's double just not seem all that impactful.
Yeah, it's a weird spot because Lollipop is actually kind of being baited for in that position. As soon as that smoke fades, I think he's supposed to sort of attack around the other side of window, but they go through the window faster than I think even he anticipates. So it ends up in a spot where, you know, the backs are offered up to him and he's able to get those kills. They were very fixated on the back of flat. Hard fights, that's for sure, but yeah, even with all the advantages that they have in terms of keeping the Falcon heads on a swivel, very difficult.
Oh, what a shot from Kyojin right around the corner of the smoke. Travis Philippe lined it up, is forced back, but he's got an off angle, but an open one. That opening has now been shut down. Kios to finish him off, and this has got to be a safe call coming up from one, but there's no choice but to do it. I'm very curious about that smoke. I don't know if that was an intentional one-way or something, but it's a strange spot for it to be thrown for the T side.
He's kind of out in the middle of long somewhere. It's a bit of a curious one.
It did make it so there's a little bit less information in case you're scaling up from the side of the wall and, you know, the player on the side isn't looking to wide swing. But
I mean, I could just barely even see Kyojin's from, well, Deca's POV anyway, so I was a bit confused as to how he's hit the headshot so clean.
Well, you know, it's that 4-3 stretched with all the vibrancy turned on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It is quite funny as well. Like, you consider how that last round played out for Falcons, how slow they were, you know, keeping Kyojin in charge of long and all the slow sort of mid-workings that Falcons had. And then that quick collapse over towards the B-bomb side. This time you just go for, like, a fast A-side contact. And nobody from OneWin was, you know, keeping that long area in check. Not before it was far too late. They realized that they made that error. Back remove here from glowing the saved rifle, seeing if he can find some impact nice and early.
They've got 3 players now coming into mid. Flamey has got to get something done with this Max 7. It's a bit of an awkward range. Can sometimes work against you, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. 1 HP left on Kios. Mag 7 is just so unwieldy at times. It's so difficult to guarantee what you're going to get.
I mean, he clotheslined the first one, so he does 100 to the first and then 99 to the second. I feel like you can't really fault him for that, but yeah. Shotguns do have set patterns, so if you really want to learn them all, you know, look them up, I guess.
Can you imagine someone does that? Like, that. I remember thinking learning the instant window smokes and mirage is nerdy, and then you're saying people should learn all
shotgun
the
spray patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to make it more reliable, and so they created set patterns, but even then there's still a little bit of variance, but...
Yeah, it's hardly something you can rely on.
Yeah, who's gonna spend all the extra time?
You say that now, and now I feel like 4 years from now that'll be the next meta Counter-Strike.
Honestly, I'm down. If somebody wants to be a shotgun specialist, go for it.
Well, regardless, not a single gun kept alive for OneWin side, and now pull out the 5M4A1s. No kits behind them, so you better start getting aggressive and figuring out whether you're saving or winning the round. They still have 3 players in suicide.
Just making extra sure they don't get peeked. And if they do, whoever peeks is in for a bad surprise. Finally escaped that dreaded position.
It's quite interesting that they actually just push all the way down mid immediately afterwards, and I'm sure some of that is understanding the economy of the other team, knowing that they shouldn't have an op. But they make up for the speed loss to a large extent because that's around the same time, maybe a little bit later than
as
when you
from
get
like
to
working lower tunnels and being a little slower that way. Yeah. A lot of nades exchanged, but no one has actually taken any fights from either side of the equation. No aggressive moves towards the lower tunnels from OneWin. That's something we've seen them mix things up in a couple of rounds. Methodical styles, both sides here for Falcons, so keeping them guessing.
The good old crisscross applesauce mid smokes. They've left Kios behind to try and lurk behind them, takes the duel and finishes it off going immediately. A secondary flash won't actually blind Kios, so this makes it a little bit more difficult. Deco needs to be more careful about the CT drop, and oh my goodness, just gets demolished. But Flamey is the one stepping up in the meanwhile. The smoke had dissipated, and the drop-down players do end up just being, well, finished off. Now, the retake is on. Lollipop does have a Molotov as well.
Both players trapped in the site. They want to take this fight. Oh my goodness, Flamey does deal with it, but the second player jumping up as well. Didn't expect Kyojin, but the Spirit transfer doesn't hit. Travis will save Lollipop from being another victim, but a third and tying round there from OneWin. The fact that Falcons slowed down so substantially after throwing those mid-smokes was a little curious, but if not for the fact that Glowing got all that extra info, that I guess OneWin would have been none the wiser. Because you saw exactly what happened. You called it out exactly right. Flamey, once those smokes faded, he just sees these players running up ramp to try and wrap that A site, and it's just there's just no coverage. So pacing a little out of control, feels like, for the Falcons in the last round, but they've been very good at mixing things up, I think, throughout the games, and we haven't really seen too many fumblings like it.
Yeah.
That'd be the first.
No, Falcons has definitely been the ones populating the letters of the alphabet a little bit more when it comes to the good old plan A, B, C, D, E. I am very curious about what Deco actually does with this op, though, now that he has his hands on it, because I'll be honest, I've not been too impressed so far with what we've seen from him across both maps. And admittedly, neither one of them necessarily the best maps for opping. Great movement from Going. Gotta love that quick little hop. Deco starts out strong. They're going through the Molotov. Lollipop, chance to shine, but nothing to shine with. Only the one kill. Flamey does cover off Haji as he's swinging back to the green box regardless, so a 4-on-2 heavy advantage located. And Going on the backside. Oh god, this flank's gonna be completely unexpected.
Yeah, he got there way faster than even Maka anticipated, and he was ready for somebody to flank in some capacity there for OneWin. I'd hope that smoke wouldn't obscure his vision too heavily. A fourth and an overtaking round there from the Russian squad. Of course, you know, you point out the fact that, hey, the fact that Falcons wanted to go down suicide with even 1, 2, maybe even 3 players in one of the previous rounds. This time the AWP was covering for it. Now, late challenge by both AWPers. Real chance there as well. Maka escaping the sightline, but you see both of them having that internal timing on when to peek and when not to.
Util is all gone for the T side. You don't. Well, you do have to do smokes actually to cross over if you want to. But beyond that, this is going to be so difficult. There's a minute and a half left. They need to go, and they need to go quick. Both smokes have now been deployed. There's still utility available to the CTs, and so much HE damage done. Going is playing inside the smoke. There's a block coming out from the team. Their bonding's gone all by the wayside, and Python's barely able to recover the site. The problem is going to be this boost that's being set up on the sideline. Flamey's trying to spam through the smoke, but he's not actually able to get the kill. His own teammate's smoke provides the cover necessary to get the bomb plant, and Haji is nowhere to be seen. There is no rotation coming in from mid. Haji can't find anyone. He needs to make a move and do it fast. These CTs are going to start to boost up onto the bomb side. Spot out the player on Goose. Python still playing late from the elbow or short. Will find only the one, and Lollipop's left alone. Finally, Haji will activate and find the frags necessary.
Oh
What a
my
chaotic
goodness.
round.
This round was all over the place. I mean, the fact is, the Falcons, they pull a pin on this execute, and they're so close to the action. You see how much Glowing is able to stay alive for so damn long. But then the fact that Haji is taking such a long time to activate on this late lurk as well just meant that OneWin actually had this window where if they accelerated the pace a little bit and actually committed to that retake a little earlier, they had this 3-on-2 on the bump set that they had no idea about. Feels like pace was the real name of that last round, and this time we're changing it up once again. This time just immediate aggression over towards B because OneWin do not have the weapons to stop them, don't have the resources nor the utility. So, nice and easy 5th round secure, just about limiting casualties. And, well, there's 1. There's 2.
Okay. That's a lot of money taken out of their hands. They can't recover.
There's 3.
Well, Falcons might have the outputs down, but one window sure as hell have got KG counting covered. What comes after 3?
I mean, it could be both of them.
That.
Yeah, the 2 youngsters, the players that got away from French Counter-Strike now returned, putting it back on top. I mean, that was a way scarier round than it needed to be, that's for sure. Take the fights, have the easiest plant you've probably ever seen on Dust2, and simply give these fights away to Deagles. It is costly, but it won't cost them immediately. Unwin with the reinvestment themselves need to find some sort of consistency to really punish. Nice shot from Deco, but a really slimline angle to have taken.
Nice angle to force Mako off of it, but there's still... Oh. Ooh. Like the attempt from Deco, but all that they get in the end is a guarantee from Travis that they have indeed backed off. There could have still been... Ooh, come on, Mako. Let's go. Yes. Line up those smokes, baby.
You couldn't patch this out. You were a helpless Val.
You have no power in my scope. Did they just double molly short in the same position?
That they did from different spots, to be fair, but making extra sure that if there was a Falcons player there, it would have been cooked.
There might still be in a while. Kios is going for the late lurk with Maka eking forward. That smoke's going to be there till that 20-second mark, so Glowing will have a nice one-way to work off of. Python's gone. Glowing's going to swing around the corner, make it a double all over again, and Travis will just add to the tally. Kios located. For sure, no late-round shenanigans to come into play. Bomb at least planted, so they've given themselves a chance. But with attacks coming from each angle, Haji gets 2! He even backs off. Now in the 1-on-4, it's Travis to come off and cover, but goddamn, that got dangerous.
Yeah, real scary. As soon as they line up, they've been trying to go for this little boost up as well to get that extra angle into the bomb site, and so that's just as they're trying to set that up, that's when that smoke fades and Haji lines up that double. So dangerous. It's all good news here for one window, that the fact that they stabilized so quickly after that happened. If there was some staggering of players coming into that site on the retake for one win, could have been a disaster. This is kind of what we expected, I think, coming into Dust2. You know, we've never really had a significant lead for either of these teams so far.
A lot of very scrappy rounds.
Yep. Sometimes ult picks for the T's, sometimes for the CTs. It's about as close as you could call it. This time it was Flamey to hit the deck. Maka tried to take that challenge earlier on versus Deco, but called it quits nice and early. Deco, ooh, still primed on the angle and ready for Maka to take that swing. Very quick adjustment.
Oh. Kyojin was never gonna live there.
Surrounded by flames.
It's very much do or die. Glowing, however, might be about to do the latter. Smoke does end up going down. That'll give him a bit more cover, but there is still that one way around the corner, which while they're trying to exploit, Travis just finds them in through, drops a bomb. But Python somehow found the kill after rushing out of the smoke, and Haji's got a freebie.
Oh, Deco's being loud about his rotate and knows that he's planning around the other side of these double boxes, but there's a gap, a small one. Haji's not going to be there, but Python still gets the kill. Big 3K there for Python because he was alone on short after he lost his supporting player, but found the follow-up frags, secures that bomb plant down, and then even just finds the last kill as well.
I was sure he was going to try and go for the jumping shot onto the bomb planter. Felt like it was the only way to be able to actually get the round win, in all fairness.
I think that was what he wanted to do, but then he realized he had jumped the wrong side, so... It's a little too late. Went for the Kukli angle, and that wasn't the right spot.
What year did KLD get that kill?
I want to say it was like 2015.
No,
say it was around that
must have
time.
been earlier.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I might be wrong about that. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's been a long time. Because I was watching it in 2015, like almost every big event, and I don't remember watching it live.
Sorry. I've done a little search just to fact check myself. Cologne 2014.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because I was watching every big event in 2015. So yeah. Oh, gotta respect it. Marka doesn't back off after dying once. He just keeps on going.
Yeah, it's the re-challenge that he does from to like put the palm through angle that was done doing the previous round. Travis spotted as well by the boost to the Falcons, and they were ready to jump and pounce right at him. Not exactly optimal weapons here for one win, but they went with the force buy regardless. SMGs, upgraded pistols, not found too much from it.
We might be getting to territory where Falcons do start to run away with it.
Yeah. This is where you can really peel away because they don't have weapons into these follow-up rounds. Even when they were kind of primed to maybe take over and force the Falcons to make some, I think, rougher economic moves. Like, you see their money in this round is not great either. That opportunity now since passed.
I have to say, none of the one-win players look particularly individually... this is going to be a really dumb word, but go along with it, it's fine. Shiny. You know, like, okay, Glowing's had a couple of nice doubles on this side, etc., but not seen any of these, you know, displays of disgusting skill that you associate with Dust2 sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's fairly reasonable. Right, these past few rounds have been kind of a feeding frenzy here for the Falcons. Not a single casualty, but just being able to find some consistency on that AWP presence down middle as well. If they're able to bring that into these coming up rifle rounds as well, there's no doubt in my mind Falcons should close things out with a double-digit scoreline. Right now, they're finding far too many of these opening duels, and one win, like you said, individually, maybe less shiny. I'm not sure how that really works analytically, but they haven't had as much flair.
God,
They're still making the same drink at the bar, but it's just not quite as flashy.
Speaking of flashy, Travis was mine. Courtesy of a flashbang. Hey, segue.
And Python's found 2 kills over at that A side.
No.
Might even find a third. Tees Keel's right up because Deco had no idea he was coming.
Lollipop is not entirely known. Kios, however, jumps up, repositions, and Lollipop has taken advantage to find the timing. Now it's all about the 1-on-2. A quick volley down would be nice, and if it can take out Python would be even better. That grenade might just do the job. No, goes way too deep.
Python's in pit, so he's the one player that he could have actually dealt with, but...
Got that one wrong on my end, but Hachi now still trying to contest away. Lollipop will just be darted around. It's all about that agility and the fact that it's a plant for long. Hachi is just waiting for Lollipop to make a mistake. He's ready for it. Shut down and again, set up for 10.
Yeah, even when it came to it, I think Lollipop came to this realization a little too late that all that time it had been chewed off. He doesn't have a kit, so... Took too long, tried to back off, and was denied from doing so. Great efforts there from Python to get that double entry out at long. You saw how flustered these one-wing players were with the positions that they had. Deco not anticipating the late lurk from Kioz. Okay, another pacey round here for Falcons. Lots of nades over towards the entrance of the B tunnel, and Lollipop kind of on an island here. He's called for backup, though. 2 more players hover their way over to that site. And Marka getting caught out in mid as well. This is not an ideal buy, but the shotgun close to the smoke. Flamey can do damage, and he's found the first, but immediately traded back by Kyojin. A triple from him in an instant.
Hope might be about to be snuffed out for 1 win at this rate. Oh, they're even being set up for a quick flash peek outwards. Python finishes off in style. Double-digit secured Falcon. Might have been struggling in the beginning to get the lead, but once they get it, they will retain. We have got to see whether they can retain it to the very end of it, though. We're going to be back after a short break. See you in just a bit. Things are looking a little bit hairy for OneWin. They need to figure out their way to a barbershop soon, otherwise they might not get the chance. 5 to 10, and the T side begins with a bang. One from Kildren.
Yeah, solitary player and glowing, trying to get some space, and found a massive space in his head instead. So, this aggression towards lower here for Falcons actually feels very well placed. Maka baiting in for Python, but the dualies might not even see real activation.
Well, you're right about that, but not for the reason you were thinking. Maka keeps on fighting through. Haji's the one to get a quick one through the smoke, and no chance in hell is this bomb going to be planted at the rate that things are going. You've just got Kios hidden away on the B bomb site, knows exactly what he needs to be doing, and is waiting patiently, salivating. Oh, they're not even going to get the bomb plant here, are they? Oh, yeah.
I don't know what this
It's
internal monologue is supposed to be.
It's the small happinesses of a B-side anchor, because you're never getting anything else.
Needs to help his teammate out, takes a gush right for it, and Deco almost pulls it off. I mean, Keels was low enough that one stray bullet would have done it, but had these players swarming around here on the Falcons to deal with what Deco was up to, still will be a Falcons pistol round. Real opportunity there for Deco to pull that off. Very unfortunate, but the Falcons pull away even further. They had a 10-5 lead coming into this, now winning the pistol. They kind of set themselves up. Not only the fact that this is Glocks, it should be a easy enough 12th round, but they're taking some dinks to these Glocks. Thanks for free. Oh. Everything's got a cost, but
yeah,
not at the cost of anyone's life.
Well, now might be last chance saloon for OneWin. Let's be perfectly frank about it. If you don't win this gun round, you probably don't have a chance in being able to bring things back from 5-14. It'll be tough as it is with as few flashbangs as they have, though.
Especially with Falcons, how willing they've been to get aggressive and change the pace up so much on their either half of the map.
Oh, utility's right there. They've got follow-ups as well. Lollipop so low. Fudgy comes in to just wipe the floor with them.
And it's a big risk for them to take. They vacate the entirety of that B bomb site so that they can make this aggro move. You can see how quickly Haji immediately threw flashes and utility over at B just to make sure he had securely taken back that site. But if OneWin went for a speedy play through to B, this could have been a round where they just simply take that site non-contested. Even going into an off angle where it's going to be a hard one for OneWin to clear unless they use a molly. Oh, never mind.
Turns out it's easy. Flamey just hard clears it out himself. Smoke down. Deck is going to have to move past it. No gray screen though. Smoke was a little bit too shallow for that one, so you can just scope right in. And what was a glowing start to the round for the CTs ends up being a blazing finish for OneWin instead.
Yeah, I mean, big surprise. Really thought Haji was going to get away with the cheeky angle that he'd gone with, but Flamey, good presence of mind, making sure that no angle goes uncleared, especially because they had limited resources. They have to be extra meticulous. Yeah, in spite of the lower aggression that Falcons operated with, had this 4-on-3 advantage, OneWin are able to pick the pieces apart from there. Like you said, this was a necessary round. Pulling away from 14 to 5 would have been very trying, that's for sure. So they've at least kept Falcons away from getting within touching distance of the finish.
It's a good start for them at the very least. Let's see whether or not they can follow up, though, because, you know, we saw how shaky this round was. Even towards the beginning of things, we were sure about the likelihood of Falcons just being able to take this one away.
Yeah, I think what I was trying to say the last round as well is like they love mixing things up here on the Falcons. So even if they get themselves up to like a 14 or a 15, you're at real risk of just falling into one of the, I suppose, maybe even more fringe calls that the Falcons would use. Maybe even something that they don't use very typically, but like getting aggro off of short with 3 people and trying to go for some sort of top mid crunch. Those are all real possibilities the Falcons can operate around. Not on a round like this, though. You know, they've only got the one rifle. They save over. Some upgraded pistols.
He played, but not really catching any damage off the back of it. You still have to keep an eye out for Kyojin as he peeks forward. Flashbang doesn't land at all, but he still gets the initial shot and backs off. With 2 HP left, it might be difficult to save in this circumstance with how many players are in mid, but maybe you can get another kill as well. Just keep the T-side economy honest.
They know that at least there's a rifle over at short, so if Faji can find his way over, if Python can try and recover that, that would be nice.
Ooh, great entry from Lollipop. That could have gotten dangerous otherwise.
Yeah, none of these rifles should fall into enemy hands either. Good stuff here from One Win. Facing themselves out for those pistols, and then of course it's actually just finding Haji back turned. Okay. There was a lot of presence upper B earlier on. Haji thought somebody might lurk out eventually. Never happened, never came. Double ult here for Falcons. Maka and Kios will wield both.
Oh dear. Maybe a little bit misaligned on what the plan was for Deco. Did look like he wanted to get a boost up. Maybe best that he doesn't with Marco on the other side.
Yeah, they both went to challenge. The double ults both peaked down mid at the start of the round, but aggro move from Kios.
Oh, Kios should be discovered over here. Playing this in an excellent position. You don't have flashes, you don't have anything. They're going to go for the quick 1-2 punches, but the first one just knocks him out. Never seen a left jab hit so hard.
And he started low, ended high, and just as Flamey made the adjustment, you know, jukes his crosshair.
Ooh. Very close right there for Maka. All comes down to Python over here, though. Doesn't have time to check out that grenade. Might choose to do so now, but they've already swung out in the open. Python's got to be careful, but his aim's bailing him out. Deco ends up taking the brunt of it as well. Now down to just 9. And yeah, something tells me they might not have too much of a chance of crossing over onto this bomb site where Deco ends up dying to his own team's Molotov.
Not sure how that one's happened.
Mysteries of life.
Yeah. It felt like Deco was on a different page to his teammates for quite a lot of that round, actually. A lot of aggression, but still not able to deal with the players inside of the site. Felt like a very awkward-looking way to approach the bomb site there from One Win. Didn't set up for a proper execute. Felt like they were being pressured for too many sides as well.
Oh, so aggressive from Kios. Finds absolutely nothing but information and a kill on the way back. Okay, Glowing, gotta be careful. Flamey as well almost lines up with his teammate Maka. In the meanwhile, reminds him this is not one op, it's 2.
Yeah, that ain't the primary.
How does he get that duel?
And Maka even revealing where he's positioned himself towards top middle. Deco taking a lot of damage. A 1-on-3 would be big, that's for sure, but bombs on the side of suicide.
Oh, good try, good try. Gotta commend him for that one. Just keeping an eye out for the sound cues and just
thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks a little bit impossible. Gotta say. Not to be a hater, but Falcons are playing it out very well.
Too many players. They heard him scope. They got very accurate information on where he is at the moment. Just want somebody to peek at some point.
Sort of like the worst pick your own adventure storybook of all time. You just die in every ending. Oh. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's a blaze of glory.
Surely
and not. Deco can maybe set himself up for something like this. Still being spotted out, but no. Okay. Madness will not come to pass yet.
Kept baiting these shots out for Maka, and I was thinking each and every time that he's bolting back, he might just find another window of opportunity. You can certainly see the wheels and the cogs turning there for Deco, but a round that was destined to be lost after all the aggression that Falcons pulled through. Kiel's getting very forward with his AWP, and they never expected a second to be alongside him.
Those Glock headshots really are pretty consistent, I have to say.
Yeah. I have to say as well, Kyojin has been very impressive this series. I feel like sometimes he even looks like a bit of a sore spot, considering the amount of experience he brings to the table, the sort of heights he's been at within the international scene. It's kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say for some, my brain said billy goat. He was a scapegoat for the Vitality guys. It felt like.
Oh, yes, the good old free billy goat scruff.
Yeah. He was a bit of a scapegoat, given his lack of experience before that roster, and sometimes, I think, not being as in tune with the meta, but it's come to the duels and, you know, trading and spacing with his teammates, especially in this series. It feels like he's really been in tune with what they have planned in these rounds. Doesn't look unaware, doesn't look out of place. Oh wow, this is a sort of way to try and hammer in a 16.
Yeah, this might just work for them as well, because Python's gone and got 2. Glowing and Travis do the same, though. Admittedly split up across 2 players, but with the kind of information that has been gained, OneWin still aren't out of hot water.
It's already thrown a spanner in the works, and we know that plan A, B, and C, not exactly the biggest of proponents of it, are OneWin. Usually they're like one plan and sticking to it, but even in the chaos of all this, they've been able to grind back into a man advantage. Spotted the upper player, and now they relocate. Maka cleared upper, and now he thinks that it might not be a B-sided finish. Glowing even finding Maka looking for info, and Kyojin left none the wiser. Which way are they headed off of all that info, all this contact, all these kills? Kyojin has no clue. He'll realize very soon as well that he's on the wrong side.
I think he's happy with that.
Yeah. He either came his way and he tried to go for an aim display, or they go B and he saves his AK into another round.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta give a little to get a little. And sending it all the way down middle for the Falcons was certainly a ballsy play. Called them off pretty heavily. You know, Python gets those 2 kills quite quickly, but then OneWin react with kills of their own. So, as much as we got a bit nervous there for OneWin, I know that I wouldn't have anticipated it. The only reason we knew is because we're watching them do it.
It helps. It helps to have the, you know, this good old X-ray and everything, yeah.
But that's what I was talking about earlier as well. As soon as they get into a position where there's, you know, they've got the rounds to play with, they're willing to take these risks and these gambles to just immediately trounce on what sort of idea you had coming into the round. This is the type of Falcons gameplay that can really be disruptive.
They've also just been really unpleasant in their individual form. Okay, Deco's not letting you set up for a boost right there. He knows what that's about. Don't try to fool Deco.
That's so sick.
Absolutely not. Smoke timing is solid, so is a grenade. So much utility damage dealt to them, and a follow-up flashbang just to keep them away. Even so, OneWin's got all the utility in the world. They should be fine.
Yeah, that was like an 160 damage nade. That's value.
Yes. Stat padding. I feel like utility damage stat padding is the most fun to do.
Hey, Dust2 apparently good place for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a gamble here from Falcons. Lost 1 player at the start of this round, and they vacate B. 4 players stand to defend this A bomb site, and it's one thing that OneWin will have to try and discern. They fall right into this stack, and I don't fancy their chances.
They do have enough time to make a decision the other way around, as long as they don't lose too many players. And they might end up having to do so because there's so much utility left from the CT side over here. There are 2 incendiaries, there's 2 smokes as well, and Python's just peeked out. Oh no. Gonna keep on trained on the long angle. Knows someone's bound to come through soon, and with Glowing's demise and 20 seconds left, this round is getting more and more dangerous. They're losing everyone. Advantages be damned. The bomb's likely going to drop soon as well, and when it does so, Deco's nowhere nearby. Not a chance to win this one. OneWin will be dropping down to the consolidation